let's get into these questions. So one of the questions that I got was, what are my plan, like what's my plan B, then now that I didn't get into masters. Hello everybody, welcome to Speak Votomi. Thank you so much for joining me. If it's your first time here, you're absolutely welcome. Once again, this is a place and platform where we chat all things life. So today I wanted to do a life update and answer the questions that I had put out a poll for on Instagram. Well, not a poll, but like a questionnaire thingy on my stories. And I'll be answering some of the questions that you've asked me, and some of the questions I'm going to be taking from my DMs because I did post in terms of what is happening with the masters. Thank you so much for the encouragement, and yeah, just I guess the shared experiences as well, and just the reminders to keep my head up because that's exactly what I will be doing. So let's just start off with that. In terms of the psychology masters process, I don't even want to downplay it. I was devastated, okay? When it came out, I don't even want to act like I know what the scripture says, I know what God says, but it was very difficult for me to be on some, you know, the Lord will, even though that's something that I properly believe in. But just at the time, yeah, man, it was difficult. I do not even want to downplay that. But nonetheless, I am okay. I had my week wherein I was staying in bed. I wasn't going anywhere. I cried a lot as well. But my family, my parents in particular, have been constantly supportive. And even of this, we're working on some plan Bs. I don't want to say too much about that right now because I think it's still in the beginning phases. Yeah, and I don't want too many voices and opinions speaking into that. You know, people always try to be like, I did this, try that out. So I just want to weigh out all of my options and see how things go. I'm going to have a conversation with my grandparents soon just to hear their side and you know, maybe hear what God is saying to them, what they hear God saying, because they're constantly praying for me as well. Yeah, so that's that when it comes to that. So I don't have much of an update when it comes to that, but congratulations to every single person that made it through. And to the rest of us, may we just keep our heads held high, and it's not a you problem. There were only a few slots available, so either way someone was not going to make it. But yeah, let's just keep trying, keep pushing, and believe that God is on the throne. Let's get into these questions. So one of the questions that I got was, what are my plan, like what's my plan B, then now that I didn't get into masters, and as I mentioned, I don't exactly want to touch on that as yet. And one of the questions, so what, Mjolo, perhaps? No guys, no. When I do, you might know. I don't know if I'm going to post or not yet, but for now, absolutely not. Someone asked, why do you lie about going to Singapore? Guys, people manifest in their own ways. So first of all, for me, it started as a joke. And then I was like, no, but I'm going to get there one day. So let me just, you know. And also, it was fun, man. I have a weird sense of humor. And I guess that was one of the things. But yeah, as you have seen, when I did the videos, I mentioned that I was in Singapore. Well, not in Cape Town, I mean. Look at my lies. I mentioned that I was in Cape Town and not in Singapore, so I did correct that. But honestly, it was just for jokes and for giggles, and most people got it, which was great. Are you studying masters in clinical psychology now? Nope, not yet. I'm still doing my honors. And some people suggested that I check SACAP to see if they have a master's program. There is no private institution in South Africa that has a master's in psychology program. Those are all reserved for, I guess, the public sector or public universities. I love your energy. You are so authentic. Oh, my English. Thank you so much. I won't mention who it is because I just feel like it's best to keep everybody anonymous. How does one register with SACAP? So they just go into their website or just type in on the internet SACAP, and literally all that information that you need is on there. If you are struggling maybe with the link or whatever, go into their website, call somebody, and they will take you step by step through the whole registration process, like it was done with me. I think I did my whole registration, including payment and enrollment, in a day, so that was pretty easy. Must be nice being a pastor's child, ne? So it has its perks. It really does. I've always mentioned that I in my journey, I guess, of being a PK, because I didn't choose it. I was just born and then boom. I've been able to meet the most incredible people through the church, I guess. But also at the very same time, it comes with things like people's expectations of you, always feeling like you need to be an example to other people in their faith and stuff like that. So from that point of view, it can be like really, really exhausting, especially when you understand that every platform that you have is a God platform and you allow God to use you in any way that he sees fit. So you don't take it lightly, at least for me, I don't. But also, I think there's a very fine line with wanting to be the light in other people's lives and also just abantu bazuthini syndrome, because people will have an opinion about anything and everything that is going into your life. But I think one of the things that I mastered early on is checking the voices that I allow to speak into my life. I'm not just gonna let anybody, somebody who doesn't know me from a bar of soap, tell me what it is that I should be doing or not be doing with my life. I have identified those people in my life that are able to speak to me. Even when they correct me, I don't take it personally, because I know that they want the best for me. I know that they understand where God wants me to be in a certain time and space. So that's much easier. But yeah, it does become tricky in the sense that, especially when it comes to social media, I always am cautious about some of the things that I post. I think now I've balanced it a bit better and I found a way to still be myself. But there are certain things that I just don't post on social media, and it's not because God told me not to or for some other spiritual reason, but simply because bazalwane. Yeah. What's it like living with Pastor Mathebula? I love him on the pulpit and he's a great teacher. So on his behalf, thank you very much. Guys, my dad is chilled. I think what's great is that he's my dad first. I think that goes for my mom as well. We love who they are in the pulpit and I think of him as my pastor as well. But he's my dad first. So that's great. I think that's why you see us, you know, have a chilled relationship. And it's not perfect. Sometimes it does get hectic, but you will never see me post that on social media ever. But yeah, I think we found a balance. Like sometimes he puts the friend cap on and sometimes he puts the dad cap on. And yeah, I think even when he switches caps, it's you still have those caps still belong to you. It's not like you throw that cap away and then you completely the one cap and not the other cap. But I think we've just found a balance and just trying to make sure that at the very same day, even though he's playful, I still respect him and love him as the father that he is. But yeah, I really feel that we scored the jackpot when it comes to parents that are pastors, because it's very easy to be, I guess, too serious and not playful, and I've seen that for other people, I guess. I need a life coach and a therapist. Any recommendations? I will always recommend HRM facilities simply because I know the head of counseling there. He is a social worker by profession. He majored in psychology as well, and honestly he just knows what he's doing when it comes to mental wellness. So I will always advocate for that. I will put the numbers down in the description below and ask for Bamatumba, and he will either be the one to counsel you or allocate you to somebody that is part of his team. You know, even I've seen the training manual for some of the people that do counseling as well. People are screened before they do it as well, and they know how to respond to certain things. So I will always advocate for that. But in terms of if you're looking for somebody private, if you're a non-HRM member, non-church member, Sis Thanda is also available. I will put her information down below. As I mentioned, you cannot be going to HRM. She will screen you. If you do, she will not be able to assist you. It's just a boundaries thing, and it really does make sense. Beyond that, I have another lady who is a registered counselor, registered trauma counselor, and she goes by the name of Dulce. So you can also go to her. She's pretty good. She's also very motherly as well. So those are my recommendations in terms of that. If not, I will also put a link in my description box to free counseling sessions in South Africa, and that one does include HRM as well. So I posted it a few weeks back, and yeah, it is on my Instagram. That is my life update video. I didn't want it to be very long. But yeah, thank you to everybody who sent through their questions. I tried to sift through repeats. Guys, the shackles that Mjolo has on us, like, most of the questions were about that. But anyway, I guess you may or may not know when that happens or doesn't happen. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed it, because I did enjoy recording it. Till the next one, yeah, have a fantastic whatever day of the week it is. Mwah.